in the conversation with me, Robert. I want to go out front now to Congressman Jimmy Gomez, Democrat member of the House Intelligence Committee. So, Congressman, you hear what Robert Kelly's saying, going through the images and the pictures, and frankly, saying a lot of things I haven't heard anybody else say of the specifics of what looks destroyed and what isn't, how easy it is to move the uranium, all of these things. But it all boils down to we don't know until we know, and a lot more information is needed. What are you hearing from briefings you've received about the intelligence assessments out there, from the CIA, from the national intelligence directors who currently are saying that the destruction was massive?
First, I want to be very clear that we haven't received a briefing. I've read some intelligence reports. I'm not going to confirm or deny what's in those reports. No. But one of the things that I want to be clear is that the administration hasn't appeared before the intelligence community, the committee, and described what actually was their objectives, the success or failure, what is the level of confidence. They haven't described anything to us. We've been able to read some reports. That's about it. We're still waiting for that briefing. That's why when the Trump administration canceled the briefing to the members of Congress, it was a big deal because we have a responsibility under our authority to know what the objective of this military strike was, and was it successful or not, and what intelligence it was based on. We don't have any of that yet.
So, which I think may be stunning when you are on the Intelligence Committee, right? And this was a strike against another country. But when you hear Robert Kelly lay out, and he just went through all the images, right? I mean, he was the one who was inspecting facilities in Iraq, so he knows what he's talking about. He's saying, look, this building looks like it was electric and power. That's still there. This one isn't, right? I mean, the level of detail we just heard from him of what he could see is beyond anything else I've heard out there. I'm just curious, and I know you can't share what's in the classified reports that you've seen. However, is that level of detail there in what you're seeing, or are you seeing broad brushstrokes?
Right. Here's the thing. It's why the president needs to come forward, or his administration and the intelligence community, and brief not only Republican leaders, but also the people on the intelligence committees. So then we don't have to decipher from photographs what actually happened. Was the enhanced uranium moved or not moved? How much was it destroyed? Is Iran still capable of developing a nuclear weapon? That's the kind of stuff that why we need them to come forward. So right now everybody's speculating, but that's also dangerous. And what's also dangerous to use words like obliterate. When the president says obliterate, that doesn't give any definition of what that actually means. And here's the thing, Iran would love for the world to think that it was obliterated, so that they'll be left alone and they can develop a weapon in secret, and then also one day, surprise, now we're a nuclear power and everybody has to deal with this.
So, we're just confirming tonight, Congressman, that the Trump administration actually plans to limit the classified information it's going to share with Congress, which obviously it sounds like it's been very limited in what you've received so far from what you're saying. But it comes in the context of a lot of ambiguity and on what the intelligence assessments are saying, and they are all preliminary at this time, right? As Robert Kelly just said, you can't see underground in Fordow, okay? Nobody can see underground there, so we don't yet know. But is there anything you can do about this if they plan to increase the classification and release less to people? First,
it's against the law to leak classified information. That's why I'm very careful about what I say. And anybody that did, they should investigate that leak and they should be held accountable. At the same time, President Trump is required by law and the intelligence communities to provide us those updates. And we expect them to stick with it. And this is a test. This is a test for Republicans. Are you an equal branch of government, or are you beholden to Donald Trump and his administration? And let's not forget, one of our main concerns from the very beginning was that Trump will set a narrative and will pressure the intelligence community to develop analysis that's based on that narrative, or not to do it at all. And we saw that when it came to Tren de Agua. Remember when all of a sudden it wasn't being directed by Maduro, then all of a sudden they fire that analyst. That's dangerous. We need real information so we can make intelligent decisions. And right now, we don't have any of that.
Yeah. Congressman Gomez, I'm appreciative of your time, and thank you tonight joining us from Capitol Hill this hour. And next,